why Grand Theft Auto 4 is inferior to other Grand Theft Autos that I've played, mainly the first two and Vice City. Well, the main issues with Grand Theft Auto 4 firstly start with its camera. The camera view is quite weird. It gives you a view from behind, but when you're driving on the road, you don't really want to be seeing what's behind you. You want to be seeing what's in front of you. So normally when I'm playing the game, I find I have to, for PS3, adjust the camera stick to be looking over constantly while driving, which is quite annoying. The next area that is annoying has to do with the auto aim. Lots of times when you're auto aiming, it's difficult to just move your auto aim from being aimed at the chest or the stomach up to the head to get those instant kills. The next area comes with throwing grenades. When you are throwing grenades, a lot of time what I find as well is that the grenades, he throws them from an underhand fashion. Often he won't throw them overhand. So when a grenade would be most useful like in an industrial building or something of that nature, it, instead of throwing it over a fence or something that the guy's hiding behind, he'll be throwing it under, which means often the grenades come back at you because they hit off the floor and ricochet back at you, which is quite unrealistic. I mean, if I was going to throw a grenade, I would throw it overhand, not underhand, as with most people. Another area that sucks is this Grand Theft Auto doesn't have tanks like previous versions. You have no access to the plane, so you can't fly planes in this version. The helicopter has guns, but they're very hard to aim. They're almost impossible to aim when you're using them. And also, the helicopter doesn't have rockets. And the helicopters that do have rockets, however, do exist only in an expansion pack. Well, previous Grand Theft Autos never had expansion packs. Why does this Grand Theft Auto have an expansion pack? Well, I have a theory that this Grand Theft Auto was purposely made worse on purpose by the developer because they saw it as a way to make more money. Hey, let's make a game, make it crappy on purpose, and then put all the best parts in the expansion pack, so that way you have to spend twice as much money on the same game instead of just putting the expansions into the regular game to make it much more fun and enjoyable. I think those are things that discourage customers from buying them. Generally, Rockstar does make good games, and generally Grand Theft Auto is good. There are some good parts to this game, but I think you're already aware of them, so I won't harm on them too much. But all in all, this Grand Theft Auto is just an inferior. Like when you look at the features overall, like just even driving. When you're driving on the road in this Grand Theft Auto, the car has very crappy handling. That is, you it's very difficult to switch lanes without even going into other the other side of the road. And then you have things like racing missions. I mean, come on, those things are quite silly, and they should really have ways around them because most people don't play Grand Theft Auto because they want to play a racing game. They play Grand Theft Auto because they want to shoot. They don't want to, be racing. Those things are quite annoying. They're parts of the game that people don't really like all that much. Mm. And those are pretty much the parts of Grand Theft Auto that are inferior. Other things I noticed is that six-axis controls don't always work, as well as another major point actually that I missed is in this Grand Theft Auto version, you can make a lot of money, but what's the point? You can't buy anything except clothes, and you can never buy a house. It's not like Vice City where you can buy a big mansion or you could buy, new cars. You can't even buy cars in this version of Grand Theft Auto. I mean, what's the point of being an assassin, kingpin, if you can't spend any of your money? Because why would Niko Bellic go and rob a bank when he can't even spend any money on anything except guns? Um, Other areas that are quite disappointing in this Grand Theft Auto is just the heavy bias that is given in favor of the computer. So for example, when you are chasing guys on motorcycles, often it seems like they're able to drive at top speeds and perfectly thread the needle, and all the traffic just seems to move out of their way in the right areas. The perfect example of this would be doing the mission that involves Dwayne, where you have to chase the guy on the motorcycle. Not only is it, not only does the guy on the motorcycle, not only does he have seeming advantages that he's able to go through all the traffic and all the traffic comes in front of you just at the right time, regardless of when you do the mission. The other advantage is that it seems that he not only are you tracking him, but he's tracking you. That is, if you attempt to, for example, cut off a path where you know he's going to go because you failed previous missions, often what he will do is that he will reroute his mission and go somewhere else. Well, how would he know where I'm going unless, of course, he was tracking me? Which means that, of course, he's tracking me, so it's a more disadvantage. Because in real life, you wouldn't, if you're being tracked by someone, you wouldn't be able to track them. But Nico may be able to track him because you will probably be following him around. You can put a bug on his vehicle. This guy doesn't know Nico, so it will be impossible for him to do something likewise. As well, that whole mission is a joke really to begin with. If you're a hitman and you're sent to go kill a guy, are you gonna go watch him run onto his motorcycle, wait till he starts up his motorcycle and drive away? No, the second you saw him, you would just shoot him and he'd be dead. That would be it. So it's quite retarded when they have these like little missions where you have to chase some guy who jumps on a motorcycle, and his motorcycle is the fastest thing on the planet, and it's impossible to catch him. I wouldn't really describe those things as fun. In fact, often to most game players, they find them more annoying than fun. I think that if Grand Theft Auto keeps up um, these poor games and with these like untenable tasks that are quite stupid and silly, that people will slowly stop playing Grand Theft Auto. Often you find this in games, the first one's okay, the second one's an improvement, the third one is really good, and then after that it's down there and they start making expansions and they start losing focus. So if Rockstar Entertainment is listening to this, make good games again. Stop cheaping out. Stop making expansion packs. Just make a good game to begin with, and you won't need expansions, even if you have to charge more for them. So that's all I have to say. Bye.